Welcome again to Too Hot for the DSM. This is another vlog. I believe, going to do another vlog after this one. And then I am going to try to get on track as soon as I possibly can with more informative stuff. But as I did say before, just judging by my own struggles in the past, and that YouTube was such a helpful tool for me when I first was coming to terms with having Aspergers and all of my other mental issues. I feel like the vlogs are probably also still useful, and even if they're not, they're going to be useful to me probably. So I did take a look at my last, first of all, so I just watched my last vlog right before I'm recording this one because I didn't want to repeat anything, and I had uploaded it less than a week ago. So, first, I do want to mention it is 1 billion degrees in a lot of North America, which is where I live. And I am wearing a tank top in this video, and there is lace on the top, but I'm not wearing the exact same outfit as last time. I don't know why it seems important to tell you this. Maybe some stupid, silly things seem important because I am very, very slightly buzzed. And when I say very slightly buzzed, I mean that I am only drinking wine. Okay, so it usually takes you a while to, or for me, at least a couple weeks to figure out how you feel about a job or a position for real. I know I did put that other video up about working one day, which is very embarrassing, but I felt like it's happened to other people I know because I hear stories about them when I'm working on jobs, and I don't want people to feel as bad as I do. I guess that's why, and to vent, of course. So, I am very unhappy. I'm not just unhappy about my work, although it certainly is playing a part in it. So I will be doing another video directly after this one that also is talking about other issues in my life. And that one may be, well, I would say it definitely is going to be something that women will relate to more. I really only spoke with men who are watching this channel right now. So I know that more men are diagnosed and a lot of women are not as so, but you know, whatever. Okay, so here's what's going on with me. In my last video, you may have thought, gee, does she have a problem with authority figures? And I think I do. Because after watching that and realizing that I was mad at I'm working in a retail huge department store that I'm sure you know what it is. After I realized, I just rewatched that video and I realized I was really perturbed at the person who's the head of my department where I work in clothing. And now realizing that I have been having a bad week and some of it is a big chunk, well, yesterday was definitely killing me due to the new little manager girl that I mentioned in the last video. That may mean I have issues with authority. And when I say I may have them, I know I have them because I've always felt like this since I was younger. But I didn't think it was this bad. Okay, but what's been going on is I made a couple stupid decisions. And also people have insulted me to my face. And people ask me personal questions at work. And for some reason we have to take 1 hour lunches. Which is really, really fucking stupid. I'll explain why that is really stupid. Previously I had worked a job where you were so tense and under so much pressure, and occasionally they didn't need as much of staff, but they didn't want you to go home because then they were going to be understaffed whenever it picked back up. So sometimes, that was a call center, they would let you actually take an hour lunch instead of your designated half hour. Of course it was unpaid, and that way you would still be available. The problem with hour lunches, there's multiple problems with hour lunches at this place. And I never thought I would be complaining about having too long of a lunchtime because I've worked places where I had the half-hour lunch and it seemed impossible to get there, use the, one microwave or two microwaves for 4 billion people, eat, put everything away, clock back in, not be late. I mean, I've been through that, so you would think I wouldn't be mad. But the problem here is that, well, there's a whole bunch of problems again, but one of the problems here is that I don't want to go back. And I did have that at the call center too. If you have too much free time, well, if I have too much free time, and also some other people I worked with who probably don't have the same issues as me, it tends to drag on, like your lunch. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm exhausted and I want to sit down if possible. I was not going to make this whole video about why lunches are too long, and that's not what the video is about, but oh God, it's just like there's so many bad things. And that's probably the least bad one, but that's the one I'm going to have to continuously whatever. I'm going to have to keep putting up with the longer I work here, because it's mandatory by the regulations, by their regulations, not by the state or the country's regulations. So, what I learned when I was hired is that, oh, by the way, this is my fake smile that I use for customers and other people I work with. I'm exaggerating, obviously. It's more like this. How are you doing today? Can I help you with anything? Nice to see you. After you. That was just a mixture of both. And, well, I've completely went off topic here. But, to be honest, anyways, like I said, the lunches are too long. I was told that they had hired something like, no, that they have like 500 employees in this store, but there's usually about half of those there at a time, so you do the math. And there's a tiny break room. There's one tiny break room. I've been in places that employed less people and had 2 break rooms. It's not always completely packed, but it is sometimes. The department store I work in has a fast food joint attached to it, and a lot of people eat fast food for lunch. I don't know why. I find that probably because I have food issues. I find it incredibly annoying. I pack my lunch almost every day. Occasionally, I have walked over to another place nearby and ate there, mainly to get out of where I work. And their service was terrible. I could do a whole vlog about that place, but I won't right now. I've been having a really bad month, or months, or lifetime. I don't know. Yeah, so you're required to do that. And that sucks because it's a lot of time, and then you got to try to figure out what to do. And I was calling my boyfriend and trying to make like chit chat and talk to him, in addition to just like screwing around on my phone during my lunch. And that's not going to be possible anymore, because since I have full availability, my shifts are being changed for the next couple weeks at least. I won't be going in early in the morning. I'm going to be going in the afternoon, but I'm still there for 9 hours. And ironically, I get hired for these part-time jobs, but part-time really just means we're not going to give you full-time hours, because that might include, you know, giving you benefits and stuff. But we're still going to work you a full shift. My boyfriend has a part-time job right now, but some of his days are legit part-time, like 6-hour shifts. And I feel like a lot of places I work, they run me into the ground right off the bat. Sometimes I really do wish that I had been able to get some sort of help, like some people do whenever they have different medical conditions, so that I wouldn't have to try to work like a dog to make any money, so that I could just literally work part-time and say I only had this much availability. But instead, I let everywhere I work drive me into the ground like a horse. So I'm not going to be able to talk to my boyfriend anymore. I texted my sister the other day. Now we're having a fight, because apparently we're jealous of each other's lives. I'll put that in the other video maybe. My authority problem comes in 10 minutes into this video. Thank you if you're still here. My authority problem comes in with this goddamn little girl. She's like in her late 20s. And she worked at the same department store chain in a neighboring state. She still lives there and travels this far to be a co-manager at a department store. I would not travel this far to be president. So, like a lot of idealistic, foolish people, she thinks that she can come into somewhere and completely change it for the better out of nowhere. I'm old now. I'm old and I'm tired. And I'm not that idealistic. And that's not going to happen. Like, and that was being all pushed on me. Let's change this, this, and that. Let's move this, this, and that. Here's all of the electronic devices that you need. Which one, I'm familiar with like one or two of them from working at another department store 2 years ago that doesn't have the same system set up. Also, I'm not in their system yet. Not uncommon for any of these kind of jobs that I've held down, that you're there almost a month and you still can't access the system yourself. You're using someone else's login, which is probably illegal or something. So, yesterday she wanted me to clean up, she wanted me to take a bucket of vomit and get rid of it. Which, by the way, has been sitting there for days. I assumed a maintenance person was going to get it the first day I saw it. But apparently, I'm the only person who's looked and seen this. Even though I've seen at least 9 or 10 people, women, working throughout this department the 5 straight days that I worked Monday through Friday this week because I'm a moron. That's because I was supposed to be off one day. And the day I was supposed to be off, and I mentioned this in the last video, that I stupidly agreed to take this extra day. I agreed to take the extra day because I wanted money. I feel bad because my boyfriend was able to get a job before I was, and has basically been paying for everything. Except, you know, here and there when I can, like, hawk something on the internet, he's been paying for everything. So I feel bad. And I wanted to get some money. And I just finally got my first pay from this place because of when I was hired and everything. And they do bi-weekly, which sucks. I know it's common. I've only worked a couple jobs that I got weekly. But it's very helpful. That's how my boyfriend's paid too. I think also that probably helps keep people at places because you know you're getting your money. It's not like a far-off dream that you're getting money. So, I did not agree to take the bucket of vomit and get rid of it. I actually watch training videos when I'm hired. And there were a lot of training videos for this store. And one of them said, and I paraphrase, since I watched it weeks ago now, if there is any bodily fluid visible, i.e. vomit, feces, blood, you as an hourly associate are not required and should not touch it or do anything with it with cleaning it up. You should alert a member of management and they should clean it up. I also thought maybe a member of management tells maintenance. I wasn't positive. That wasn't in the video, but the video literally said management. You see, because they're making more money than us. And also, I'm not getting sick for your shitty job. So she said, can you take care of that after you're done doing that wall of hideous socks? And I said, do you mean call maintenance so someone can come back and clean it? And she said, no, just take it in the back and clean it. And I said, did you know there's throw up in that bucket? And it's been sitting there for 4 days? And she said, "Ew, gross!" And then we were done talking about it. And that bucket is still there as far as I know, because I'm off today. So that was disgusting. I should not have worked 5 days in a row at this place. That was really bad. That is my own stupidity. I said in the last video how I picked up that extra day. There was an amazing concert going on about an hour and a half from where I live with 3 bands, all 3 bands, not like just one, but every one of them I'm a fan of. I'm a huge fan of 2 of those bands. I've tried to see one of them on tour multiple times, but he kept canceling and people in my family kept dying, so I couldn't go. I assumed that I would not have enough money to go, and that my boyfriend wouldn't have enough money to go, and that if any of us did, if we did have collectively enough money to go, I would, he would just go. It's his friends that he's traveling with, although they did take me with them to a concert last year, which was very nice. Metal, fun. It was really fun. But my pay did come in a day earlier. And by that time, I had agreed to work the day of the concert. And on a normal day, I probably would have, well, no, they left early in the day. I would have been screwed anyway. But I agreed to work the fitting room. I mentioned that in the last one, dressing room, fitting room, whatever you want to call it. Now I, having not ran the fitting room by myself, I did have a little help here and there, did not know that it was the 9th circle of hell. But it turns out it is. Especially because it's back to school time, which apparently is like Hell Week or something. Don't get me wrong, I am pretty cool on the floor helping you find some pants for your 3 children who you just decided to shop for a few days before school starts, because it starts this week. And I'm recording this on a Saturday, and school starts for most schools around here on Monday. And basically everybody started flooding into the store on like Tuesday or Wednesday to get clothes. So yeah, so I worked the room on Thursday. So that was stupid and terrible. And now I know why people don't want to work it. Here's the thing. I'm a really hard worker. It's a stupid job. I know that. I feel stupid all the time that I'm working this job with any type of college degree that I've completed. That I'm a 30-something-year-old woman who's working this job of her own free will. It's not like I'm held hostage or something. But I can't but help always give my best. And I did notice the next day I had to work that nobody, and I mean nobody, was stressing themselves out about this room like I was. But this was literally the busiest I've ever seen this section. I'm not saying it never gets busy. I just didn't see it. Yes, it's probably because I wasn't in the section. But maybe also somehow I just got like the worst day that's ever been there. I don't know. I just know that there are 5 rooms. There are 5 fitting rooms, a phone system I am barely familiar with, a walkie, and I was constantly, for 8 hours, juggling, answering this phone, which you know I love to answer phones, talking to stupid people on the phone, paging people, apparently sometimes incorrectly, but I have no training on that. Also letting people in and out of fitting rooms, having, multiple people tell me that I'm doing things wrong and giving me different ways to do them, and trying to incorporate all those different things. Sorting all the clothes that are coming back from returns and trying to get those ready for people. Worrying that I'm not going to get a break or a lunch because sales floor is really cool about that. And fitting room, you are literally stuck in this area. You're supposed to do stuff with lingerie because here they have lingerie around the fitting room. But every time you walk away, the phone rings. At least that's been my experience. It was bad. It was really bad. And it was made extra stupid by the fact that I could have been having fun. But instead, I decided to actually turn my part-time job into a 40-hour work week consistently, Monday through Friday, which I know lots of people do. But it's too stressful for me. I didn't even bring enough anxiety medicine to work. I had been at work for 1 hour, and I thought I had been at work for 3 hours. It was that bad. It was the worst day I've ever had at this place. I didn't like the... so then I didn't get off till 10. And all I could think about all day was how I needed to drink. I needed to drink bad. And I had no alcohol left in my house. And I live in a shitty, shitty place where I cannot go to anywhere to buy alcohol currently. Affordably after a certain time. And that time was before I got off. So, when I got off, I went over to the women's section, or junior section, or whatever the fuck it is, and grabbed a bunch of clearance stuff, well, a few clearance things that matched since I had just got paid. Bought those, went home, went to the bar, went to 2 bars, came back home, passed out. My boyfriend had been back from his concert for a while. He thought I was missing because he's not really familiar with the old me of what I do when I'm single and having a bad day. Or a day where I need to go get a drink. The next day, my phone my alarm didn't go off. I woke up late, had like 5 seconds to get ready, made it to work with like a minute to spare or something. Got jokingly told, "Oh, you're finally here," while they were all standing around doing nothing in my department. So yeah. So basically, I've been self-medicating. I am self-medicating with medication. I actually found more antidepressants, but I mean, I'm not even sure I should be taking them because I can't afford to go see anybody right now. So if they do start to work, as soon as they start to work, I'm going to run out of them again. Drinking a lot when I'm not at work. This is very low-key because I got so messed up the other day when I went out and my man was worried. And I've gotten messed up a lot of other days when he was here. But he was here to help me. And I don't like to make it sound like I need someone to help me. But right now I do. Because it's bad. And I am questioning all of my life decisions. Not just because of this job. Like I said, I will make another video. But yeah, I am self-medicating with alcohol, actual medication when I'm at work, which I need. But I need more than I thought I would need to do this easy job. For some reason, I want to eat these hot Cheeto things that are really cheap. I don't know. That sounds really stupid, but it's true. And I'm like at the end of my rope. And I don't know what to do. I know I can't quit. I know I wish I had 2 days off right now, but I have to go back tomorrow. I know that I don't like a lot of the people I work with. I don't respect them either. Titles for me do not earn you respect. How you treat people earns you respect. And being abrasive to them to their face and talking about them behind their back or other people to them, which I've had experience with the other stores too, so you know they're doing about you too. None of that makes me feel good. The person who seems to be the main manager, I don't know him well. And like I said in the other video, that guy actually seems kind of nice. But I understand that when you work somewhere, everybody is above you. And he instituted a stupid rule the other day that was making all of our jobs extra difficult and take more time, which is what you need whenever it's like hell week and there's 1,000 people who need pants. But customers love me because, like I said, I do such good customer service. And then I just go home and I cry. I just cry. I'm not even drunk. I'm just really upset and venting. And this is extremely long, and I don't care. Sorry, I just don't care. So yeah, I don't want to go back to work ever, but I have to. I am sick of all the people asking me about my personal life. I wish I worked with men, but there must be some kind of like rule in the universe, you know, like one of those sexist rules, because I have never worked any job that was apparel that had men working in the region, in the area. I guess it's girl work, you know? I guess like guys ride horses and girls put blouses up. Even though, you know, there's a lot of manual labor with moving really heavy shit and pushing it around and actually doing things. It's not easy like some people think it is all the time. It's just as hard. I know another store I worked in, the men, which it was mainly men in what they call hard lines most places, which is groceries like canned goods and stuff, for hated soft lines, and soft lines, clothes and stuff, home goods, hated hard lines, which is stupid because we're all doing a job, which is pretty goddamn similar. Yeah, I'm real unhappy. Not, like I said, not just about this, but this is a lot since, you know, I spent 45 hours of my life at this place over, not counting today, the previous 5 days. I spent 45 hours in proximity to this place. And whenever I work a job that I hate, which is most jobs I've ever had, I am very mean and angry to people who are actually caring for me. And this is awful. And me and my boyfriend are going to try to figure something out. But I don't know exactly what. I do need to go back to school, and maybe if I can work that out, I can just tell them I need less hours. And then I could still earn some money, because the pay is decent for here, for this. It's not a good time right now. It's just not. It's so much. And I know I put a lot of pressure on myself, but there's other people who put pressure on me. And like I said, I don't like people asking me questions. That's why I said I would rather work with guys a lot, because guys are prone to joking around. And even if you're at work, even if they're good workers at work and they're getting stuff done, they are prone to trying to be more positive or silly or whatever. And it's like women that I've worked with a lot, not all, that's sexist of course, but like a lot are like, they don't really have interests like men do. And they mainly just want to talk about their families and things that are going on, and they want to ask me my business. And I really don't think, I mean, I know that as your coworker, as long as I get the amount of work done that I'm supposed to be doing, and always more, which is me, you really have no need to know if I'm married, have children, if I have another job, which some young girl asked me the other day. I'm not a fucking stripper. I mean, and that's stupid when people ask strippers that question, but what am I doing this job for fun? Because why would I have another job? Another person asked me if I was on the clock while I was on the floor working. No, I'm just hanging out over here working for free because I thought it looked like fun. Yeah, I don't. Are you in school? What was your major in school? Why aren't you working there in your major? Oh, I heard people in that major make more money. Oh, I'm sorry, are you living my life? Oh, yeah, I know, if I had kids, my whole life would be explained to you, and I'd be an easy person for you to figure out, but I'm not. There's also a guy at work who says he has Aspergers, very loudly in the lunchroom all the time. Like someone who's never ever tried to learn social skills. I have tried, and tried, and tried, and I'm still working on it. There's lots of NTs who don't use any social skills whatsoever. They just don't give a shit. This guy pisses me off. I'm not going to make a whole video about him. I've only seen him a couple times. But now I could never, ever, I feel like, try to explain to somebody my struggles with this Looney Tune over here. No offense to guys. But, like, if you... I think he was hitting on somebody the other day. I couldn't really tell. It was bad. I had a panic attack on Friday when someone, my co-manager lady woman, needed me to do something and basically said, go back there to the giant stock room, get one thingy, put another thingy on it, and then move this thingy. Without explaining exactly which one she wanted and where I could find anything. And when I tried to ask for further information, she was just as vague. And then I wandered around the stockroom for a couple minutes, searching. Nobody was there to ask anything, because the only people who were working back there were unloading trucks. It wasn't like the other store I worked at that was slightly less busy, which I know this store's also busier because that one just went out of business. I had to just do it my own way, and I was waiting for her to yell at me about that. I can't figure out some of the electronic equipment that I was never trained on. I take all of this very personally, and I can't help it. So, to wrap up today's session of I Can't Afford to Go to Therapy, my depression is terrible right now. My anxiety is the worst thing ever. My Aspergers is third on the list, except I do take a lot of things literally that people tell me, and I feel like I'm at a job, and if you literally tell me to do something, I should know that that's what you mean. Please don't speak in riddles at work. I'm not here to hear jokes. I can do that with friends in real life if I have some. I have a couple. The point is, it's really bad. Probably nobody's going to watch this whole video. My life is not a good thing right now, but I have to try to get through it. So yeah, like a lot of people, not liking the job. Not liking the retail job. Not this one. I've had better.